When we think of modern wealth, we think of tech founders and online empires. But the blueprint for unimaginable, monopolistic wealth was drawn over a century ago. It wasn't built on silicon or code. It was built on kerosene. And the man who built it controlled an empire larger than some nations. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller and the rise of Standard Oil. Before the 1860s, keeping a house lit at night was extremely expensive. People relied on whale oil. The discovery of crude oil in Pennsylvania changed everything. It could be refined into cheap kerosene. It sparked a massive black gold rush. The industry was chaotic, wildly volatile, and incredibly dangerous. He didn't want to gamble on drilling. The real money, he realized, was in refining the oil. In 1870, he founded the Standard Oil Company. His goal wasn't just to compete. His goal was to entirely eliminate competition. First, he secretly conspired with the major railroad companies. He guaranteed them massive volumes of oil shipments. In exchange, they gave him secret, heavy discounts. Armed with this devastating structural advantage, he approached his rivals one by one. He offered to buy them out. He gave them a choice: take Standard Oil stock or go bankrupt. Most capitulated. Within mere weeks, he absorbed 22 of his 26 competitors in Cleveland. The incident became known as the Cleveland Massacre. Standard Oil began expanding nationally. By 1880, Rockefeller controlled an astonishing 90% of all oil refined in the United States. He standardized the product. He made kerosene cheap, safe, and available globally. He brought total order to an industry that was destroying itself with overproduction. But his total domination terrified the American public. Standard Oil was deeply involved in politics, allegedly buying the loyalty of senators and judges. Tarbell's own father had been ruined by Rockefeller's secret railroad deals decades earlier. She published a massive, highly detailed 19-part series in McClure's magazine. It meticulously documented Standard Oil's espionage, price-fixing, and strong-arm tactics. The public outrage was immense. It eventually forced the federal government to act. The Department of Justice sued Standard Oil under the Sherman Antitrust Act. In 1911, the Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly. The court ordered the massive empire to be completely dismantled and split into 34 separate companies. It was seen as a massive victory for the American public. But it triggered an unexpected paradox. By splitting the company, the government inadvertently unleashed its true financial value. The combined value of the new, independent companies skyrocketed far beyond what Standard Oil was worth whole. Because Rockefeller still owned massive amounts of stock in all 34 companies, his personal wealth quadrupled. Around the same time, the invention of the automobile ensured that the demand for oil would explode globally. Gasoline, once a useless byproduct of kerosene production, became the fuel of the 20th century. He possessed wealth that rivaled empires. But his public reputation was deeply stained. The stress of the business had physically ravaged him. He lost his hair and suffered massive digestive issues. In his later years, he dedicated himself to the largest philanthropic campaign in human history. He established the University of Chicago. He created the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research. His foundations funded research that helped eradicate hookworm and yellow fever globally. He gave away over $500 million before he died in 1937. His legacy remains deeply complicated. He built the modern oil industry with ruthless efficiency. He accelerated the Industrial Revolution, but destroyed countless lives and businesses to do it. He forced the U.S. government to invent antitrust laws simply to contain him. And then, he used the fortune he amassed to save millions of lives through medical research. He viewed his wealth as a divine responsibility. He was neither entirely a villain nor purely a saint. He was the supreme architect of the modern American economy. The era of the Titans shaped the world we live in. Their shadows are long. If these stories matter to you, help us keep them alive.